welcome you all to this unique program, which has so much information that is very important for every job aspirant to know. I appreciate and wish the very
Recording
best
in progress.
to our today's trainer, JC Chaitanya Vasanthavada, in explaining us about the oil and gas sector and the career opportunities it has. Hope this will be a very interesting and exciting session. I wish Chaitanya a very best and hope everybody gets a lot of information which will really help them in their career today. And before we get there, let us all rise for our JCI creed. We believe that faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life, that the brotherhood of man transcends the sovereignty of nations, that economic justice can best be won by free men through free enterprise, that government should be of laws rather than of men, and that Earth's great treasure lies in human personality, and that service to humanity is the best work of life. Mission: to provide development opportunities that empower young people to create positive change. Vision is to be the leading global network of young active citizens. Now, I hand this meeting over to our today's trainer, JC Chaitanya Vasanthavada. Welcome, JC Chaitanya garu.
Thank you, Prabhakar. Am I audible clearly?
Very clear.
Thank you, Prabhakar. I request all the participants to mute yourself so that the session will be very clear and audible to everyone. Can you please take care of this? Abhishek, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Chaitanya, sir.
Hi, Avinash. Abhi, can you please take care of this thing?
Yes, I'm taking care of it.
Okay. One second, guys. Very good evening, everyone. This is JC Chaitanya Vasanthavada. I am working as a site manager in Kazakhstan in the field of non-destructive testing. So today's session is mostly about, today's session gives you the information on how to grab a job opportunity in oil and gas industry and what are the qualification requirements for that and what are the advanced certifications you need to do in order to get a job in oil and gas industry. So before we start the session, I would like to say, let us keep this session an interactive session rather than me continuously speaking. So I would like to ask a question before we move on to the session. So how many of you know about oil and gas industry? Or rather, let's say, how many of you know about industries? You can unmute yourself or you can type in the chat as well.
Hi, this is Girituri. I am working as an engineer in the oil and gas industry in Saudi right now. I wanted to move to another company, so I'm looking for this. I'm attending this meeting now. So yes, industries, Chaitanya, like industries are all about something safety, quality control. So NDT, now I have graduated from BTech Mechanical Engineering. During my engineering, like I have seen non-destructive testing in industries, more of a quality. That is how I can see in oil and gas, like mainly welding side, welding, TIG welding, MIG welding. Those will mostly come under that type of industry.
Okay. So what is an industry? What does an industry give us? So
It
what do we
might be
get
on
out
the
of-
production. It might be on the production or manufacturing.
Okay. Anyone else? You can unmute yourself and speak, or you can type in the chat box as well. That's good. Whoever is typing in the chat box, send it to everyone, not only to me.
Which is processing of raw materials and manufacturing of a goods and factories and new assortment and elements of a business.
That's great. So basically, industries is nothing but which produces a raw material or a product or which delivers services. So based on this, based on the output of the industry, whatever the industry is giving us, the industries are classified into 3 types. So can you name some industries which you have known, which you have seen, or which you have been working in?
L&T Hazira.
Okay.
L&T Hazira, Surat, Gujarat. Reliance Refineries, Surat, Gujarat.
Steel plant,
IOCL, Paradeep.
IT industry. Yes. Power plants. Yes, you're right. Oil and gas industry, right?
Food industry,
Yes, food industry. That's very important.
agriculture industry,
Agricultural, pulp, paper.
technology industries,
1 second. Oh, somebody.
marketing industries.
Requesting participants to mute yourself. So the industries are classified into 3 different types based on the product they are delivering to us. First one is raw material industry. Raw material industry is mostly into drilling of oil, as we are talking about oil and gas industry, mining, fishing, and agricultural. These all comes under raw materials industry. The second one is manufacturing and construction. This type of industries transform the raw materials into the usable products like food, textile processing. Some of you have mentioned food industry. Some of you have mentioned textile industry. So the same way, these are all come under secondary. Next, the territory is service industry. Like most of us, like what we work in service industry, that like BPOs, telecommunications, health, all the small circle, small firms will come under this service industry. Like colleges, schools, they give us education. And BPOs and telecommunication industry, they give us service. So these are the 3 different types of industries. They are categorized into 3 different categories. In oil and gas industry, can someone say oil and gas industry comes into which of these categories?
Primary,
Okay. And so why did you say primary?
because in oil and gas industries we generally found oil as a raw material,
Okay.
and we purify it with different process, and after that we use it as a diesel, petrol, or kerosene oils, and after that it is distributed in market under service industries, different service industries.
So you would say that drilling will come under primary, refining will come under secondary, and consumption like distribution, like petrol pumps and everything will come under tertiary. So oil and gas industry
Tertiary.
oil and gas industry comes under all the three categories for us.
Yes, sir.
Petrol.
So this is one of the oil and gas industry which I worked long back. So when oil and gas industry comes under, it works in three segments: upstream, midstream, and downstream. Like as I mentioned, it is a primary, secondary, and tertiary. In oil and gas industry, we call it as upstream, midstream, and downstream. When it comes to upstream, the drilling and exploration of the oil, these all comes under upstream. And once the drilling is happened, the whatever the output of the drilling is, it's a raw material. We need to refine it. We need to convert it into the usable form, like petrol, diesel, aviation fuel, and everything. So that in order to do that, we need to transport that core oil, whatever we got, we need to transfer into the refinery. So the midstream, what it does is it transports from the main drilling base to the refinery. So that the downstream is nothing but downstream will refine it. Downstream will refine it and convert it into the final product, like what we use, like petrol, diesel, gas, aviation fuel. So all these are the three different segments in oil and gas industry. So this is the process flow in the oil and gas industry. First, the drilling happens, and after that, these two comes under the mainstream, the first primary stream, oil drilling and extraction, and after that, they are transported to the refinery. And from the refinery, all the wastage will go into the flare area. The flare is nothing but, you might have seen in HPCL, the flare where the useless gases are left out with a flare. And after that, that particular crude oil, whatever is extracted and refined, they will send to the analysis to see the quality of the oil, whether it can be used for transporting, like to deliver it to the public, or it can be used for some other purpose, like diesel generators and all. And again, the transportation moves it to the final segment. The final segment is the downstream segment, which is used for consumption of which is the petrol pumps and everything, which is used by the consumers. So this is the process flow in oil and gas industry. So when we see in the oil and gas industry, this is a report from IERB. So it means that it studies the oil consumption rate and everything. So this is the demand for oil, diesel, and gas in India, just India. So oil demand in India is projected to register a 2 times growth. That is approximately to 11 million barrels per day. Just imagine 11 million barrels per day just in India. And diesel demand is expected to be 163 MT by 2030. I mean, these are all the calculations done by IERB based on the present consumption rate. Taking from 2005, they calculated the consumption rate and they projected the expected demand. So when it comes to gas, so you can see the consumption of natural gas in India is expected to grow by 25 billion cubic meters, registering an average annual growth of 9% until 2024. So just think about it. When the consumption rate is increasing, we need more oil, we need more diesel, and at the same time, we need more gas. So how can we get all these things? If we need more output, we need more industries. So Indian industry is also, Indian government is also supporting the oil and gas industry in a way that there are a lot of support is coming from Indian government as well. So you may see this Indian oil chart. So this is the consumption in each of the sector. Electricity generation is also using oil. Aviation is also using oil. Residential, of course, we use oil. And other industries, like somebody mentioned the paper industry and all these industries, they require fuel to run their engines or to run their equipment, whatever they have and all. So petrochemicals, obviously, marine bunkers, rail and waterways, road transportation. This is the projection till 2045. And it is counted from 2019. You can see the vast increase of the consumption. So these are the different equipments which are normally used in the oil and gas industry: piping, tanks, valves, compressors, air coolers, exchanges. This is called a flange. This is what I just mentioned about flare. These are the boiler tubes. This is the filter, rotary equipment, and these are the knockout drums. And somebody who are working in the oil and gas industry might have already seen all these things. Not only oil and gas industry, if somebody might have worked in power plants also, they will look into some of the equipment, not all of them. Piping and all, most of the piping and all will be available in power plants. Tanks, you cannot see in power plants. With these walls, exchanges, air coolers and all, most of this equipment will be used in multiple number of industries, but these are the main important things. There are also certain other equipment like, ladders and small electrical heating furnaces and everything. But those are not the priority equipment, or those are not the main equipment. But this is the main equipment which we use in the oil and gas industry, right? When people work in oil and gas industry, when construction of an oil and gas industry is happening, they follow certain standards. The certain standards are American Welding Society is one standard, ASTM, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, ASME is one standard, API is one standard, American Petroleum Institute. So these are all the different standards. Not only these, when it comes to Russian area or Russian or Kazakhstan area, they use a standard called GOST, G-O-S-T. So GOST is a standard, particularly they use, it is more or less, it is like ASME, but they have a certain standard called GOST. So different areas, different parts of the world use different codes and standards, but these are the major codes and standards when it comes to a standard oil and gas industry. Right. When it comes to the oil and gas industry, safety of the workforce is the key element for the production. So when a plant is designed, or when a plant is constructed, or when any work is going on in the plant, safety is the main key thing, and the design, everything goes with respect to the safety standards. So they can take into consideration safety of the people. Like, for example, if a pipeline has to be operated under the maximum operating pressure of a pipe is 50 bar, say they will not operate in 50, they'll operate only in 30. So it means that they'll make sure that even though some plus or minus they'll make sure some plus or minus tolerance is there in order to maintain the safety of the people. Now, can someone name some oil and gas industries which you know? You can type Reliance, ONGC, right? You can type in the chat box. HPCL, yes. ADNOC, Schlumberger, Aramco, Saudi, IOCL, BPCL, yes. SABIC Refinery, yes. Shell. So what are the Indian industries? So I see a lot of people are writing Shell, SABIC, Nayara. So most of you have heard a lot of oil and gas industries, right? So these are the major oil and gas industries like Bharat Petroleum, Indian Oil, HPCL, Shell, Nayara, and Reliance. And around the world, these are a few which I have mentioned in here. BP is British Petroleum, ONGC, HPCL, yes, Siemens, Weatherford, Safer. So these are various oil and gas industries around the world. So when it comes to oil and gas industry, the plant size, based on the plant size, the number of workers will be there. So plants are like a small plant which is having a 1 to 2 units, around 3,000 to 5,000 people will work there, directly and indirectly. I'm talking about directly and indirectly because some companies will do like they do not take most of the people in payroll. Only a few people will be under payroll, and most of the other jobs will be given to the contractors. And when it comes to the medium plant, 3 to 4 unit, there are 5,000 to 10,000 people. A large plant which is having more than 5 units, nearly 30,000 people are working. And the plant which I am working is having 7 plus 5, 12 units. 12 units are there in my plant which I am working, and the people count is 1,05,000 nearly. 1,05,000 people will work in the place where I am working now. So do you know anyone who is working in oil and gas industry? Am I audible? Somebody mentioned that my voice is not clear. Avinash? Thank you, sir. So do you know anyone who is working in an oil and gas industry and that designation? Like what do they do exactly? Does anyone know? I'm asking people who already worked in oil and gas industry. They might know their profiles and all. I'm asking if anyone of your relatives or anyone from your family is working in an oil and gas industry, and do you know what they do? Can somebody unmute yourself and speak out?
Yes, my brother is working in Reliance Industries, Hazira, Surat,
Okay.
and he is an RS or radiation safety officer there.
So he's in a radiography.
Yeah, it is related to radiography.
Okay. So these are the different departments in an oil and gas industry. You may see that design, construction, operations, maintenance, reliability, warehouse, engineering, safety, IT. Also, IT support is also required for an oil and gas industry. Supply chain management, a lab, and obviously HR everywhere. So these are the different departments in an oil and gas industry. And when it comes to the work in an oil and gas industry, it's a continuous process. Drilling, transporting, refining, and supply. So we have seen the stages of working in the earlier slide. So once the plant is into operation and it is working into 3 or 4 years or 5 years, then what the oil and gas industry, a certain oil and gas industry management thinks is they need to shut down the plant. They don't completely shut down the plant. What they do is, like, for example, if there are some 5 units, they shut down a part of like 1 or 2 units, they do the shutdown. They check every equipment, like as you have seen a different equipment like valves, pressure vessels, heat exchangers. They check the fitness for life of each of the equipment. So that is called a turnaround or a shutdown. We call it as a turnaround. Plant shutdown means an entire plant is shutting down, but when it comes to the turnaround, a part of the plant is stopped to check the fitness for service of each of the equipment. They check the remaining thickness of the pipes. They check any corrosion monitoring. They do the corrosion monitoring. When it comes to monitoring, that's a daily process, and maintenance is also daily process. Shutdowns and turnarounds are a major process in a oil and gas refinery. Not only in oil and gas refinery, shutdowns and turnarounds plays a major part in most of the industries, because that is the time when all the plants and all the industries will look for their improvement. That, like, they check the quality of their service, they check the quality of the product that is coming out, and also at the same time they try to improve, they try to change if something is damaged or something needs to be changed. Based on the inspection results, they change the equipment. So this is the area, this is the continuous process. So these are the different manpowers: welders, fitters, rotary equipment operators, safety officers, electrical engineers, civil workers, quality control, valve operators, HVAC operators. These are a few. There are a lot of manpower, but when it comes to quality control manpower, right now I am working in quality industry, so I would like to give you a brief info on how do we get a job in a quality control department, and what are the different manpower types of manpower which are in the quality control department. So mechanical engineers, unit inspectors, welding inspectors, piping inspector, pressure vessel inspector, storage tank inspectors, painting inspectors, QAQC inspectors, NDT, third party, NDT managers, and supervisors. So these are the different manpower. So is somebody into this quality control field?
No, it's not a.
Yeah.
To control the
Is somebody into quality control manpower, like into NDT or into any advanced NDT, of course, advanced NDT?
Yeah, I have completed in ACFM and the IRATA level 2 also.
Yes, rope access is a very, very important job in oil and gas industry. Not only oil and gas industry, it also has rope access has a multiple jobs in various industries. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So how do we get a job? Irrespective of your qualification, if you want to go into a quality department, one thing is common in this is NDT. So non-destructive testing is the main thing which you need to do. That's a basic step. Irrespective of your quality, you may be a 10th class, you might have done your diploma, or you might have done your BTech or MTech or whatever. It doesn't matter. So, but NDT, non-destructive testing, is the main step when it comes to the quality control department. And after that, a little experience is required for doing this advanced certification. If you want to do some advanced certification, normally they'll ask an NDT certificate with some experience, and then you can go for advanced certification. Once you go to the advanced certification, you can get a job in quality control department. So what is the basic requirement? So basic qualification required is SSC certification and NDT, as I mentioned, and of course skill is required. The skill, whatever skill, how do you get a skill? Basic qualification, you'll get it from the school or from your college. And certification, as I mentioned, NDT, you have to learn NDT, you have to do the certification in NDT. And after that, skill. Where do you get the skill? Skill also, you will get it only when you're doing a certification. You have to practice well on the test specimens and all, and then you'll get a good skill. So when it comes to non-destructive testing, these are the basic 4 methods of non-destructive testing: ultrasonic testing, radiography, magnetic particle, and liquid penetrant testing. And each of these training is not each of them. First 2 methods, ultrasonic and radiography, will have 80 hours of training and a certificate by a level 3, and then you can get into an NDT level 2. And magnetic particle and liquid penetrant, these are very easy methods, and 24 hours of training is enough for the both last 2 methods. So 30 days of training for these 4 methods. How is it going in the market? Like 30 days of training for all the 4 methods, 4 hours a day. They'll have a classroom training sessions and also practical sessions. Classroom will be a theory session, and practical will be taught to you on defected specimens. And upon completion of this training, theoretical and practical training, you will be given a certification by an NDT level 3. After passing the exam, you'll have an exam as well. You need to pass the qualify in the exam. And once you qualify in the exam, you'll get a certificate with a worldwide accepted certificate, which is valid for 5 years. So there is also a validity for each of the certification you do. So it is valid for 5 years. And these are the different certifications. Like when it comes to our 10th class, when it comes to our school exams, we have like different boards, ICSE, CBSE, or state syllabus or whatever. In the same way, when it comes to non-destructive testing also, we have a different certifying bodies. We call them as certifying bodies. So ASNT, American Society for Non-Destructive Testing, is one sort of certification. At the same way, ISO is one sort of certification. At the same time, PCN is also there. CSWIP, TWA is also offering. There are a multiple number of things. That's again a different concept. So I don't want to move into that. Just I'm giving you a brief introduction on NDT, that's all. So this is how you will get a certification once you qualify to the exam. So NDT comes, there are 3 levels in NDT: level 1, level 2, and level 3. And once you're done with that qualification levels, you'll if you're a level 1, you'll get a job as helper and assistants. If you're level 2, you'll get as an NDT technician or inspector or a QAPC inspector. And when it is a level 3, supervisors and managers. And level 3 is the top level in NDT, and that a person who did the level 3 can give certificate to a level 2 and level 1 upon completion of the training. And now recently, not in the recently, when if somebody no need to, without doing a level 1, they can go directly to a level 2. I mean, they have to learn the course of a level 1 and level 2 directly together, and then they'll be certified directly to a level 2. Right. When it comes to salary ranges in India, these are the salary ranges which I have mentioned based on the if they complete the certification immediately after the completion of certificate, they'll get these jobs. Like this is the salaries what they get. Helper, NDT technician. When you're a diploma, BTech, you might get 12 to 15,000 is the maximum salary when you get it when you're done your NDT certification after BTech. So after diploma, if you did NDT certification, you'll get a maximum salary of 12,000 after the experience. And when it comes to helpers, 5,000 is the maximum salary nowadays they are giving for a helpers. And of course, some of the people who are already into NDT might have can ask me like, I have never seen an NDT level 1 certification. Yes, there is NDT level 1 certification, but most of the people are preferring NDT level 2 because now they can directly go to level 2 without waiting for some number of years. When it comes to Middle East, these are the salaries that are being offered. So 45 to 50,000 and 45 to 60,000. This is about the Middle East. I'm talking about Middle East. When it comes to European countries, the salaries are way more high. So they're very high when it comes to European countries. But normally European countries, the problem with the European countries is we do not get we do not get more opportunities like we get in Middle East. We do get opportunities, but we need to strive hard. We need to have some reference of the people. Then we can easily grab an opportunity in European as well. But Middle East, getting a job in Middle East is easy with an qualification in the quality control field. Okay, so if you see in the previous slides, as I mentioned all the qualifications here: BTech, diploma, degree, SSC, inter also. So what is the difference then? What is the difference with these qualifications? If anyone can do NDT, and what difference does this qualification make to us? Can anyone say? Can somebody guess what difference does it make?
Knowledge, sir. So different.
Okay.
Knowledge.
Okay, knowledge and
Knowledge, and it is required for the further improvement of posts. Further improvement of post, that is, for example, someone is a NDT technician, he will then become an NDT inspector or become a level 2 RSO in a few months or a few years. In few months, I am saying that in few months. But a plus two candidate will have to wait for few years to achieve that position.
okay. So it's partially correct. And yeah, I'll give you the right answer. And somebody is saying promotion next level. Yes, that's almost same. Okay. So what exactly the difference is? Your eligibility for the higher level examinations. As I said, NDT is the basic certification required to enter into a quality control department. So once you did your NDT level 2 certification, you got a job in oil and gas industry. So what you're going to do next? So you're going to work with the same salary for all the complete your life, or you want to grow more? Of course, we need to achieve for the next level. So how do we go into the next level? By appearing for higher level examinations. And here your qualification comes into picture. So eligibility for the higher level examinations. Experience requirements after NDT level 2 means like, when you want to write for an NDT level 3, you cannot directly write an NDT level 3 examination. You should have a certain number of years of experience after you finish NDT level 2. For example, if you're a BTech candidate, 1 year of experience is enough for you to appear for NDT level 3. If you're a diploma, see, this is what is criteria. So if you are an SSC, if you just completed your 10th class and you finished your NDT level 2, you need 5 years of experience to attend for the next level examination. So next level examination means I'm not talking only about NDT level 3. There are other examinations as well. I'll show you in the next coming slides. So if you are an inter, like if you have a 2 years of higher education, So in the codes and standards, they do not mention like 10th class, inter, degree, or diploma. What they mention is you have a high school degree. High school degree means 10th class. You have a 2 years of high school degree. 2 years of high school degree means intermediate. If you say 3 years of degree, it means the degree or diploma. Or if they say that 4 years of, or some of the codes mention Bachelor of Engineering and Bachelor of Technology or something directly like that. But so this is what your education comes into picture. So if you are an engineering student and if you completed your NDT level 2 certification, you just need to have a 1 year experience to attend for the next level of examinations. What are the next level of examinations we have? See, these are the different levels of exams you have, and that's what, as I mentioned, once you are in NDT level 2, this is a basic qualification to enter into a quality control department. Okay, you got a job in this NDT level 2. After that, you will work for 1 year or you'll work for 2 years to earn some money. You got some money, and now you want to improve or you want to grow in your career. You want to go to the next step. You want a promotion. So what you need to do when you got a job in an NDT level 2, what you need to do is you need to observe the people around you. You need to observe the jobs around you. In which field you're going to excel. Like, for example, these are the different examinations which are available. So out of these examinations, you should figure out yourself, like in which field I will excel. So then you have to go into that particular field. So what are these different things? So NDT level 3. NDT level 3, as I mentioned, NDT level 3 is the senior level or the top level of NDT, in which these people are responsible for preparing the procedures, certifying the people, and these are also responsible for invoicing. These are also responsible for bidding. These are responsible for getting the projects from the companies. So NDT level 3 is a person like who is a manager or a supervisor in a company who takes care of the entire project. So when you did a job, he is the one who reviews the job. He is the one who signs the reports prepared by you. He is the one who said that, okay, this job is done, this is good or this is bad, or it has to be redone or whatever. He is the one who decides, NDT level 3. So this particular position is a position in which is strictly for NDT, for a non-destructive testing only. Next. When it comes to API, these three are different API certifications, API 510, 570, and 653. When it is API 510, as you might have seen the photo of a pressure vessel, which I've shown you in the starting slides, where different equipments are mentioned. So pressure vessels plays a very key role in oil and gas industry. So API 510 is an examination or a certification, we can say. So in which a person who qualifies for an API 510 certification is called as a pressure vessel inspector. So what he does is he goes to the pressure vessel, and he verifies or he inspects. We can say he does the inspection, and after the inspection, he gives the recommendations if something repair needs to be done. Okay, this pressure vessel, where can we use this? How long can we use this? Based on the inspection results, then plant management will decide whether to replace that particular equipment. When I'm saying equipment, it means that a piping, as I said, piping is also an equipment. And you have seen a different photos. Flare is also an equipment. When in oil and gas industry, they call it as equipment. Each and every operating equipment they call it as an equipment. So pressure vessel inspector, API 510 certification is required. Even for this, they will ask NDT background, because API 510 and all these API certifications require NDT background. Why? Because a few of the questions I have qualified. I am qualified in a level 3 and API 570. I'm not qualified in all this. So API 570 is a piping inspector. API 570 piping inspector is nothing but same like in API 510. As an API 510 person qualified to 510 can inspect a pressure vessel. A person qualified to API 570 can do a piping inspection. Same way, he monitors the corrosion rate. He would say if some part of the piping needs to be replaced, or if some place there is a leakage. So what needs to be done? Do we need to replace the entire piping, or a short pipe is if it is okay if we replace a short piece of the pipe? So these are all covers under this certification. It's a code. We need to read the code and we need to pass the exam, and then we'll get an API 570 job. And API 653, it is a storage tank inspector. Storage tank inspector also, it's a different certification where people will get to know how to inspect the tank, and they call them as a storage tank inspector. And BGAS and NACE. See, painting inspector in the sense, painting, it's not like what we paint in our regular, what we see regularly. When it comes to oil and gas industry, painting plays a very important role, because that is what which protects the certain equipment from the environmental conditions. The place in which I am working, it's an extreme colder conditions. In this place, painting plays a very key important role, and the thickness of the painting is also a major role here. Thickness of the painting should not be more than 5 millimeter. So there is also a painting inspector. There is also an examination for this one. Corrosion inspector. NACE is an exam. NACE is an exam which qualifies to become a corrosion inspector. And when it comes to CSWIP and AWS, these are all welding inspectors. So just for an example, if we want to place a pipe in, for example, from our complex, bus complex to some place, like for example to Madhyaparam, if you want to place a pipeline, what do? We cannot place a single pipe, right? We need to weld 2 pipes and then place the entire pipe into underground. So what happens, just in case if welding is not good, and what happens if somebody smokes and just throw it out? What does it happen? If it is an water pipeline, doesn't matter. Just imagine if it is a gas or an oil, what would happen? A disaster. So in order to avoid all this, each oil and gas industry takes care of each and every small thing, that is each and every small equipment which is inbuilt over there. Apart from this, there are also other opportunities, like when it comes to quality control, there are also other things like torquing inspector. They call it as a torquing inspector. Electrical inspectors are also there. So these are also quality control, but it is not related to mechanical. These are all related to mechanical quality control. And when it comes to electrical and all, that's a different category again. So this is the salary range which is getting, which people are getting right now. I'm talking about this. These are salaries abroad, not in India actually. API inspectors, welding inspectors, painting inspectors. These are the higher level qualifications. So just observe the difference between the basic job salaries, and once you finish your higher qualification, these are the salary ranges you're going to get. So for how do we read all these things? So for all these things, there are institutes. Unfortunately, we don't have any institutes for API welding and painting in Visakhapatnam. We have to go to either Chennai or Mumbai or Delhi. Even in Hyderabad, we do not have any of these training institutes which give us, okay, NDT supervisors. NDT level 3 is a thing which we need to learn on our own. I mean, there are a lot of books, internet, it is available in internet as well. We can read for NDT, but when it comes to API inspectors, welding inspectors, and painting inspectors, we do not have any training institutes in Visakhapatnam, in Andhra Pradesh actually. So this is a plant where I am working, Tengiz Chevroil. This has more number of units, and as I mentioned, 1 lakh people, nearly 1 lakh people are working. And when it comes to turnaround, in this coming August, we have a turnaround where 3 lakh people, nearly 3 lakh people are going to be participated in this one. We bring some temporary people, because with the existing manpower, we cannot do the turnaround or shutdowns. So we bring temporary manpowers. Any questions? You can unmute and ask. You can unmute yourself and ask, please.
I have a question.
Is it Prashant?
Yes, sir. This is Prashant.
Yes, Prashant, please.
Sir, I have completed a BE and have been certified at CC last month, sir.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for a job overseas. Can I get as a fresher for this one, sir?
CSIP, actually, there are opportunities now. This HPCL plant extension is going on, if you know it or not.
No, sir. I don't know, sir. I'm just waiting
Where
for
are you
the
from?
last few months, sir.
Where are you from?
From Chennai, sir.
Okay, then you can, this CSIP welding inspector job opportunities, most of them, you can log in into this oil and gas rig. There is a website called oil and gas.
Okay,
There
sir.
you can find multiple number of jobs, because recently I have seen some requirement also for oil and
Okay,
gas
sir.
industry. And yeah, you can text me in my
Okay, sir.
I'll give you my contact number here. You can
Okay.
text me. There is some job opportunity I've seen somewhere.
Okay, sir. We are not that much a rich family here. We are from a poor family. We are just waiting for an free requirement because we
You'll
have
get a
not.
good you'll get a good job. Most of the people who got a job in oil and gas industry have settled very well. Do not worry about that. And just
The whole family is dependent on me, sir. That's why I'm searching for it. That's why I came for this.
CSIP welding inspection. You have done CSIP level 1, isn't it? CSIP 3.1.
Yes, sir. I have cleared, sir. I have cleared CC 3.1, sir.
Okay, CSIP 3.1, there are job opportunities. Yes, even in India, you can get a job opportunity. Abroad, it is easy. Actually, Middle East, you could have tried in the Middle East. And there is some job coming up in Qatar.
Okay.
And Oman also. Oman also, there is a huge requirement, POD.
Okay. That's why I have no one to guide for me, sir. I've just seen this poster and I've been entering this one.
Okay, just text me this. Just text me in my WhatsApp.
You have given in chat, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Hello.
Who is this? Oh.
Sir, can you tell me your WhatsApp number, please?
WhatsApp number I have texted in the chat box. Can you please check?
Okay, thank you.
I mentioned in the chat box.
Yes, sir. I'm just texting through WhatsApp.
Vijay Kar, somebody asked me a question. In advanced NDT, which method is better to go, PAUT or tube testing? When it comes to phased array, now most of the people are doing to phased array. So phased array ultrasonic testing. Instead of this, tube testing is very, I prefer tube testing only, because what we are paying here. So for one day for a tube inspector, we will pay $500 here. So just think about it. So I would suggest you go for tube testing instead of going for a phased array, because now phased array, many people are there in phased array also. Like if we project a requirement for a phased array, we are getting 10 to 20 CVs. Of course, experience matters, but still I'm saying tube testing has a very bright future. And even in the tube testing also, you need to go for the advanced methods like near field testing, far field testing, remote field testing. So not the basic things like eddy current and what is iris. Just don't leave with iris and eddy current. You need to go with the advanced techniques also. And for the advanced techniques, you can use that 85-128 equipment. That is the most advanced equipment now. And most of the companies are moving to 85 because Olympus has there is a problem with supply of the Olympus equipment. So 85 is compatible with for all these advanced probes and all. So I would suggest you go for tube testing instead of phased array. If you have to choose between both of them, if you are going for both, it is very good. If we completed higher position like API or sweep, how to get a job? Yeah, that's what one of our friend who is that Prashant or somebody asked me about CSIP. Prashant, is it that you?
Yes, sir.
I am Muruganandam, sir.
What is your name, my friend?
Sarman. Yeah.
So API or CSIP, as I mentioned, API or CSIP and CSIP both are higher qualifications.
Yeah, they are preferably mostly API or CSIP.
Yeah, you want to choose one. If you want to choose one, go for API.
Okay. If I complete API 510 or 570, how to get job?
If you complete API 510 or 570, the best option is first try to get a job in Middle East somehow.
Okay.
Not somehow, actually. They keep on asking. There are a lot of requirements in Middle East. It's like an ocean of opportunities. Many opportunities come along our way. Every day, some of the other posts we have been seeing, like we need so many.
But freshers, they will prefer?
They will prefer freshers, but with a less salary. I cannot guarantee you 2 lakh salary or 3 lakh salary at the starting time.
Just minimum. Okay.
You will get a salary between 75,000 to 1 lakh. There are opportunities for freshers.
Okay.
And which part of the world, which part of the India are you from?
I am from Tamil Nadu.
So we are from Tamil Nadu. You can go to global. What is that name? Global. There is some institute called Global.
Yes, sir. It is in Trichy, sir.
Trichy, not Trichy, actually Chennai only, because I have been there. I have been to the institute for some.
Global remote. That one is
not global remote. Global
remote
remote is Irata.
Irata. Yeah.
Global remote is Irata. So you can go for that. You can ask me personally. I can send you that message, because they keep on asking the requirements. Like they need a trainers also, somebody who can teach and non-district testing, who can teach APA classes, who can teach CSIP classes.
Oh.
So they are looking for trainers. At the same time, they're looking for the inspectors also.
Okay. Now I'm working in advanced tube inspection.
You are working in advanced tube inspection?
Yeah, I complete 4 methods.
Okay, great. Somebody asked me in advanced NDT method. Okay, this is done. As a fresher, how to get a job in Gulf industries, in oil and gas industry? As a fresher, how do you get a job in oil and gas industry? That's a very good question. Oil and gas industry, directly you cannot get a job in Gulf. You need to work in India. You need to get some experience, because whatever the training institutes will teach you, those are practical specimens. They are not the actual job. So you have to practice in the training institute wherever you are learning in such a way that you can directly go to the job and do it. And especially when it comes to major clients like Exxon Mobil, Chevron and all, what do? Is they do not directly give a job to you. They even though you got a certification, once you enter into a job, they'll again give you a qualification test. You need to qualify in that, and then you can stay there. Otherwise, they'll send you home. So because they want people with good quality, from where we can learn tube testing course. For tube testing course, Mumbai, there is one institute. Chennai also, there are institutes for tube testing, but as far as I know, the quality of the training is not up to the mark, because Mumbai are institutes which are having ED5 equipment, as I mentioned. ED5 is an equipment which is having high scope nowadays.
Sir, in Tirunelveli also an institute is there.
What is that name?
Hello, sir.
What is that name? What is that institute name?
Institute name is the EdTech. They are providing ECT, IRIS, and NFT. They are having heat exchangers. The exchangers also they are having with EdTech machine. They are providing 3 courses with the package of 50,000.
50,000. If you are getting 50,000 for all these 3 methods, that is the best package I've ever heard.
Yeah, they are having practical heat exchangers also with thousands of data.
Probably they might have had this not heat exchangers, some air cooler bundles. They might have had these air cooler bundles maybe.
Yeah. I also didn't went there, but
it's not a heat exchanger. They cannot bring heat exchangers over there. It might be an air cooler, small part of an air cooler actually.
Yeah.
And somebody mentioned some Nadam Institute. Is it the same Nadam Institute?
Yeah, the same institute. They changed the name.
Okay, Nadam Institute, the same. Okay, so whoever you can search in internet the Nadam Institute, and whoever wants to do advanced, you can go from there.
That person is working in Saudi Arabia previously. He have many data also for interpretation purpose for RFT, NFT. He having thousands of data.
Yeah, that's
So
what.
for interpretation
Actually, we are
also
not
is very
supposed
easy.
to, when you're working in some company, you're not supposed to bring the data out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons where people people are still considering how do we train the people in interpretation data. But nowadays, they are preparing these mock-up specimens with tubes having inbuilt defects and all. With a reverse
Yeah.
engineering, they are preparing the defects.
Yeah, sir. Sir, I am Naveen, sir.
Yes, Naveen.
Before 1 month only, I came from Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
I went for shutdown for Eskin West.
Okay. In Athra?
Is it? In Athra only for NCOC.
NCOC. Okay.
I came through FSSA.
Okay, I heard that. Yes.
Yeah, sir.
But I'm not from that plant, actually. Yes.
Okay. Then you are telling in August shutdown is going to happen. Is it possible to hire outside
It's
of
already done.
Kazakhstan?
It's already done. All the recruitment is already done in here.
Okay.
Because the thing is, we have to do the processing and all at least from May.
Okay.
So we'll start the recruitment, visa processing, everything from May. So it's hardly 15 days before we start the shutdown. So all the recruitment, everything is done. But I can consider you for the next shutdown if you can attach your resume and all.
Okay, sir. You can share me your mail ID or WhatsApp number, sir. I will share my resume.
I've texted in chat group my phone number.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So I hope these are the questions. And I'll complete the session by just telling you one small story.
Yeah, sir.
Please, can you mute yourself? So I know a boy. He's born in a little poor family, and he completed his schooling. And after that, like everyone, he did his intermediate and went to the engineering and completed engineering. And he wants to pursue higher educations as well, but because of his family situations and all, he couldn't do his higher qualifications. He did not go for any MTech or other things. He got a job. Somehow he got a job. Like others, he went to Hyderabad, searched for the job opportunities. He got a job in software, but unfortunately, because of the recession time, he did not get the call letter. He went to Hyderabad. He got some job and in some telecommunication industry. He got a job in telecommunication industry, working with the towers. So he used to get a salary of 15,000 per month. And then his family's financial situation is very bad, and he has some high responsibilities as well, because he need to clear his educational loan. All of his education went in educational loan, so he has some higher responsibilities. He worked for around 1 year and all, and he got promoted to the next level. That is good, actually. He got a salary of 25,000, and in that 25,000 salary, he worked for 2 years. With that 25,000 salary, he worked for 2 years, and he did not see any growth, and he was worried about his future. Then he moved into non-destructive testing field. Quality control department. He did an NDT level 2, and he worked for 1 year for some experience. And after that, he appeared for NDT level 3 exam. Once he finished his NDT level 3 exam, he got a job in Azerbaijan, a country called Azerbaijan, and the first salary is 1 lakh per month. And after that, within 6 months, he proved his caliber and moved to Turkey to a salary of 1.5 lakh per month. And after Turkey, he went to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, he got an offer. After 2 years, he got an offer in Saudi Arabia with a salary of 2 lakhs. And after that, he came back to India. He established 2 companies. Later, he went on to Iraq with a salary of 3 lakhs per month. And now, he is working in some European country called Kazakhstan with a very, very good salary. And that person is nobody. That is me. From in my 9th class, I have only 3 pairs of dress to wear. And now I'm an owner for a for 2 companies. And this all happened to me only because of the oil and gas industry and the quality control department. So my friends, oil and gas industry gives you a multiple number of opportunities to grow in your life, to go in your professional life, to go in your personal life. So that's all. Thank you so much. Any feedback?
Yes, that was a wonderful session, Chaitanya. I thought I enjoyed myself being an entrepreneur. I learned a lot about the oil and gas industry, and I definitely have learned a lot many things that I could guide today's freshers who are looking for a job and decent settlement. I hope everybody who is in the participants today also enjoyed the session. Now I would like to ask a few participants to share their feedback. If anybody wants to, can unmute themselves and give us some inputs so that it will also encourage the trainer to conduct many more impactful sessions like these. Yes, somebody raised the hand. Pravina Garu.
Very good evening to dynamic trainer, today's trainer Chaitanya Garu. మీ పేరు తగ్గడగానే మీరు అందరికీ ఎంతో చైతన్యం రేపిస్తున్నారండి. And the way you have launched this program, it was so good. One of my cousin is also here in the session who have been listening, and he thanked me a lot for promoting and sending this information. ఇలాంటివి ఏమైనా ఉంటే కొంచెం ఒక 2 days బిఫోర్ గా మీరు నాకు చెప్తే ఇంకా చాలా మంది గ్యాదర్, ఇంకా అన్ఎంప్లాయిడ్ చాలా మంది ఉన్నారు, వాళ్ళకి దీని గురించి తెలియక ఎక్కడో జాబ్ వెతుకుతున్నారు. This was really very helpful for the people who are in search of job and who have already lost their job in Saudi Arabia's area. Like, I think for them also, this is also very helpful. So thank you, Chaitanya. Thanks to JCI Vizag and the president and the handsome Prabhakar sir for always promoting and supporting the very nice and useful activities. I'm really glad to be a part of this session. Ante come and go ga undi naka terms, but I understood this is very important for the people who are really looking for a core job and very easy to get in until unless they know the door of in and out. Ante. Thank you so much once again, Chaitanya.
Thank you so much, Pravina Garu. I wish you lend a helping hand always to a lot of people. We all know that in JCI. So if somebody is looking for some kind of a career opportunities, I'm sure Chaitanya Garu will be able to do his best to help them. Apart from many other good programs that he is doing right now.
If possible,
Thank you so much for
together
your
will do
feedback.
the job mela. If possible, we together will do the job.
Yes.
Sure, definitely.
Thank you so much, Chaitanya.
Thank
you, Pravina Garu, for your wonderful feedback. Naveen Garu wants to talk. Naveen Garu, please unmute yourself. Naveen Garu, please unmute yourself. You have put your hand up. Yes, you can speak now.
Yeah, sir, this is a very wonderful opportunity to be a part of this. I also want to do something about. I am having ASNT, then PCN. I am also having PAUT also, but I couldn't able to settle at our own company. That's why I planned to attend this meeting. And if I get a mail ID and phone number of Chaitanya, means it's very good for me to be in touch with him. That is very useful for me to get a job in Kazakhstan or something. So kindly please arrange.
Sure, Naveen Garu. Thank you so much for your participation today and your wonderful feedback. Anybody else? It's already getting late. I think we'll close in the next 2-3 minutes. If anybody wants to speak, yes, we can quickly go for one more feedback or fine. People are also actually sending a lot on chat also. Lots of appreciations and love for you, Chaitanya Garu, Prashant Garu. Okay, fine. Wonderful. It has been a very exciting and informative session. Thank you, our today's trainer, JC Chaitanya Vasanthavada Garu. And special thanks to all the participants who are really energetic and made our today's program a grand success. We wish to organize many more impactful sessions like this that we had today in future also. We come to a close of the session. With this, I, JC Prabhakar Botta, Vice President Training of JCI Vizag, call this session Career Opportunities in Oil and Gas Industry via Zoom platform by our trainer today, JC Chaitanya Vasanthavada, on 16 July 2022 at 8:40 p.m. adjourned. Thank you so much for your participation. We look forward in coming back with more good sessions. Thank you so much.